Blue Jays on Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware and building center location. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Welcome to Rogers Center. It's camp day at Rogers Center. A lot of kids in attendance. That always means it's a great atmosphere for these afternoon games. Threatening rain outside, so the roof is closed. The Blue Jays take the field as they try to salvage the final game of this three-game set. And they've got a lot of support, a lot of kids in attendance tonight or this afternoon, anxious to help the Blue Jays win one. Blue Jays got some bad news last night. J.P. Arancibia got hit by this foul tip off the bat of Brandon Inge. He stayed in the game, finished that inning, but then went and had x-rays. They found out he had broken his hand. He is done for 6 weeks, and he has a cast on that hand this afternoon. And going to stay here for a couple days and then probably head back home. With that, Jeff Mathis is behind the plate, making his 25th start of the season. Coco Crisp will lead things off for the A's. He had a 2-homer game yesterday, part of a 3-hit afternoon. Yoenis Cespedes in this series has gone 3 for 8, and we have seen one thing with Cespedes. He's a clutch hitter. He drives in runs. 3 hits, 5 RBIs in the series. Top of the order, Chris Gomes and Reddick. Josh Reddick is the DH this afternoon. Cespedes, Carter, and Brandon Inge, and Inge has always hit well against the Blue Jays. Kurt Suzuki, the veteran, starts this afternoon behind the plate for the first time in this series.
Aaron Laffey on the mound for the Blue Jays this afternoon. This is his 3rd stint with the club this season. He was recalled on April 9th, May 28th, and June the 12th. Did not pitch his first 2 stints with the club, but now has been put into the rotation, and he has been great. 2-1 with a .277 earned run average. Defeated Boston Red Sox last time out 6-1. 7 shutout innings in that game. Snyder, Rasmus Davis will form the outfield this afternoon for John Farrell's team. Omar Vizquel once again will get the start at shortstop with Theodore Escobar out. Yan Gomes will get the start over at first base. This is his 6th start over at first base. He's going to catch a couple of times a week and play first base against left-handers, so we get to see the young slugger over at first base this afternoon.
Blue Jays have had to dig down deep into their organization and call up a lot of help. It is camp day, as we mentioned, and a lot of kids in attendance, and this was always a raucous atmosphere on a Thursday afternoon when we've got kids in the house. Coco Crisp, the switch hitter, will bat right-handed against the offering of Aaron Laffey. Just 1 for 8 against the Blue Jays left-hander. Goes after the first pitch and fouls it off. The Athletics are in an interesting stretch of games. This is the 4th left-handed starter they have faced in a row. They will face a 5th in Zach Britton when they take on the Orioles. For the season, they're 16 and 17 against left-handed starters. Aaron Laffey has really been impressive. Won his last 2 starts, as Pat mentioned. Shutting out the Red Sox last time out. 8 singles in 7 innings at Fenway Park.
No walks, 4 strikeouts in that game. And this is typical of what he does. Just throw strikes, keep it out of the middle of the plate. Something that the Blue Jays didn't do last night to Coco Crisp. Homered against Drew Carpenter. Change up over the middle of the plate, and that ball went out of the ballpark. That was number 4. And then just a couple of innings later, same pitch, same location, same result for Crisp, number 5, as he hits a multi-home run game for Oakland.
1-2, misses outside for Coco Crisp. That's his 3rd multi-home run game of his career. First this season. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Little tapper. Laffey gets to it and throws out Crisp.
You know, when you make a mistake with the first pitch and it's a home run, it's pretty tough to go right back to the same one. This is the 3rd inning on the left and the 5th inning last night against Coco Crisp, against the same pitcher, the same result, same pitch. Next time they might have to throw him a fastball, maybe inside. That's a perfect swing.
Yeah, if you didn't notice the different advertisement behind the home plate, you'd have thought it was the same pitch. But he got the same pitch and had the same results, 2 homers. Johnny Gomes is playing in right field this afternoon. Gomes has been the DH, the left fielder, now the right fielder. Gomes had an active night last night. He had a couple of hits. He walked twice, drove in a run, and scored 2.
He's been in a good spot for the Oakland A's, hitting second. When you look at Johnny Gomes, he doesn't look like a guy who is your typical number 2 hitter, but he's been hot over his last 7 games, hitting behind Crisp, so you got the speed there and then the power of Reddick and Cespedes. So this is a good spot for Gomes.
It's a strike. Not many of the Athletics have much experience against Darren Laffey. Johnny Gomes himself has just 4 at-bats. Another good pitch right on the inside corner. The thing you'll see with Aaron Laffey all afternoon is, as Pat mentioned, how infrequently he throws the ball over the middle of the plate.
Since he has started cutting that ball in on the right-handers, he has really tied him up. He has the ability to go inside and outside with it.
Ground ball. Omar Vizquel starting for a second consecutive day at short. Makes a play. 2 ground ball outs.
And we talked about it in the opening about being able to throw 3 different types of fastball: the cutter, the sinker, and the 4-seam fastball. You add and subtracted that, and it's almost like having 6 different pitches. This is what he does. This is the scouting report for Aaron Laffey. Fastball 45% of the time, but you add the sinker and the cutter in there and change speeds on it. It becomes like you're throwing 6 different types of pitches. He'll use a changeup also to get the right-handers off of that pitch on the inside part of the plate. But it's a guy who's really defined what pitching is all about.
Josh Reddick is the DH this afternoon. It's the 8th time he served in that role for Bob Melvin. And Melvin mixes up the DH. He's used 8 different players as the DH this year. Reddick's had a fine season. Has 47 RBIs. Had an RBI double in the 2nd inning last night. Part of an 8-run inning. This ball is hit high and deep to right. Rajay Davis is going to run out of room. Josh Reddick, home run number 22. Oakland with another home run in this series. They've now hit 5 home runs against the Blue Jays.
They lead the major leagues in home runs since the All-Star break. This is number 23, and it's a classic case of a left-handed batter being able to stay inside against a left-handed breaking ball. Watch him stay inside. It's a hanging curve ball. He stays on it, hanging breaking ball, stays with it, keeps his hands inside, gets the meat of the bat on the ball, and carries it right out of here for the game's first run.
You could see Jeff Mathis had set up down and away, and that ball stayed out of the heart of the plate, and Reddick didn't miss it. Jonas Cespedes, the left fielder, jumps back from an inside pitch. Oakland has now outscored the Blue Jays 24-2 in this series. Those numbers are normally flipped when these 2 clubs meet, but Oakland has been on a tear.
You were talking about it when the series began.
Big hop for Laurie. He'll have to unload in a hurry, and does. So Cespedes grounds out to 3rd. That ends the inning. But Josh Reddick gets the A's off and running. The swinging A's are back. They lead 1-0. Brett Lawrie is riding a 4-game hit streak, 7 for 16 over that time with a double, a home run. He's driven in 3. Rajai Davis is leading off. He's in right field this afternoon. Colby Erasmus is batting second. Edwin Encarnacion is the DH. Snyder Gomes and Kelly Johnson. Gomes playing at first base. Jeff Mathis will get the majority of the work behind the plate with J.P. Arencibia on the DL, and Omar Vizquel making his 7th start at shortstop.
This is Tommy Malone, who is going to take the mound for the Oakland A's this afternoon. Malone will get his 20th start of the season. 9-6, 334 earned run average. Came over from the Washington Nationals in that big Gio Gonzalez trade back in December, and he has been outstanding for the Oakland A's. Doesn't walk anybody, throws a lot of strikes. Malone coming into this ball game, 9 wins and just 26 walks on the season.
He'll throw it over. He's not unlike Aaron Laffey. Not overpowering. Rarely will he throw a ball 90 miles an hour. But he'll make you concentrate going back and forth on velocity. Good changeup, and that's one of his real strong assets, is that changeup. He can throw it any time, and he always has the ability to get swings and misses.
Yep. He really has a great tempo when he is out on the mound. When you talk to some of the Oakland A people, they say he likes to work quickly, throw strikes, throws a little bit across to his body. But like Aaron Laffey, he doesn't throw the ball in the middle of the plate. He's got a great changeup, and he'll cut the fastball in on those righties.
That cutter that pushes Davis back. Tommy Malone with 9 wins. Bouncing ball. Brandon Hicks rights himself. Tossed the diamond in time. 1 out.
Let's take a look at the defense for the Oakland Athletics. They are tied for 6th in the American League in fielding percentage. They've only committed 59 errors this year. In the outfield this afternoon, Yoenis Cespedes, Coco Crisp, and Johnny Gomes in the outfield. Hicks and Weeks in the middle. Engine Carter on the corners of the infield. Kurt Suzuki back behind the plate this afternoon. He usually catches Tommy Malone. Johnny Gomes with just his 2nd start in right field. Remember Josh Reddick last night banged into the wall late into the ball game, came out of it. He is DHing this afternoon, so Johnny Gomes will get the start in the outfield.
Colby Erasmus takes an inside strike. Another pitch right on the inside corner. We have talked about it throughout the first 2 games of this series, and we've seen it already from Malone. The Athletics are confident they can throw fastballs inside to Colby Erasmus.
Yeah, we saw it from Griffin yesterday, from Blackley the day before, and now Malone, his first 2 are right there. And then they have gone high fastball. And even though he throws 88 miles an hour or 89 miles an hour, you can get guys out up there.
Been a tough stretch for Colby Erasmus, hitting $130 over his last 14 games. There's a great changeup, and Erasmus is down on strikes.
2 outs here in the first inning. Let's take a look at the scouting report for Tommy Malone, brought to you by Home Hardware. Homeowners helping homeowners. It builds off the fastball, throws that 55% of the time. Again, his fastball has got very good deception on it, a fair curveball, a decent cutter, and a very good changeup. That is his out pitch, and he'll use it to both lefties and to righties. He's got great control and command, and I think one of the things, again, we talk about rhythm and tempo on the mound. He certainly has that.
Brett Lawrie batting 3rd this afternoon. Mentioned Lawrie with a mini 4-game hit streak. Lawrie had a single. He also grounded out 3 times in the ball game last night. Brett Lawrie really showed a lot of people just how tough he is after that terrible crash in New York. He missed just 1 game, and he's got a lot of young fans here this afternoon. Out on the outside corner. Brett's got the kind of mindset you want. He wants to play every single day, and he will go into the manager's office and say, I better be playing today.
And it doesn't matter where in the lineup he is hitting.
Johnny Gomes in the right field corner. Tommy Malone retires the Blue Jays in order. A 1-2-3 bottom of the first. 1-0 Oakland. This Sunday, July 29th, Blue Jays will take on the Detroit Tigers. The game starts at 1:07 p.m. The first 20,000 fans will receive a sports bag, courtesy of Mr. Sub. For tickets to the Tigers Blue Jays game on Sunday, call 416-341-1234. You can log on to BlueJays.com or stop by most Rogers Plus locations. Sports Bag Day on Sunday, brought to you by Mr. Sub. There'll be a lot of these kids in attendance. You can bet on that. First trip for the Tigers into Rogers Center this season. Boy, the Tigers have made a nice move of late. They currently tied with the Chicago White Sox atop the AL Central.
We'll get to see one of the players that they just picked up, I believe, the second game of the season. Anibal Sanchez will be throwing for the Tigers. No Justin Verlander. Phew.
Sanchez will go against Henderson Alvarez on Saturday. And then Doug Fister and Brett Cecil will pitch on Mr. Sub Sports Bag Day on Sunday. Chris Carter. Carter hit a home run in last night's game. One of 3 home runs Chris Carpenter gave up. Boy, this is a different ball club. When you look at the power of this team, we have seen the home runs in this series. They've hit 5 home runs in the 3 games.
Yeah, power in the middle. Reddick, Cespedes, and now Carter are starting to show some home run power. 6 home runs since June 29th, which is tied for the 5th most in the American League. So he is starting to show off with some consistent playing time now against the left-handers, what he's all about.
Well, he's got a good hitting coach in Chili Davis. Davis next to Cespedes in the Hayes dugout, keeping a close eye on Aaron Laffey. Chili Davis is one of those older generation hitting coaches that'll sit and watch, see if he can pick up a pattern, as he did when he was a fine player. He was a switch hitter, so he can help both lefties and righties kind of dissect Aaron Laffey and what they might need to do.
You know, he has faced plenty of pitchers like Aaron Laffey over his career. Wait back as long as possible.
Pretty good pitch. Laffey didn't get the call. They appealed down to Larry Hanover, and he said he went too far. Looked like it was a pretty good pitch. Could have been a called strike. Carter is called out.
Let's take it from the side view, and he certainly goes around and makes an attempt at that one there. Let's take a look at the pitch again here. It looked like it might have got some of the plate. But a good heads-up play by Jeff Mathis.
In the umpire's defense, that's a hard one for the umpire, because Mathis set up on the inside corner. The ball was over the outside corner, but Carapazzo was expecting something in. Brandon Inge takes a strike. Inge had a 2-run double in the game last night. Boy, that's a good pitch. He's carving up the corners early.
Look at Jeff Mathis really working with him, saying, let's go back out there once again. Hit my glove. He hits his glove and he goes, attaboy. Part of what a catcher has to do. He's got to be part cheering, part helping out his starter.
Now, the biggest thing you are is a psychologist trying to figure out where the pitcher's mind is. Boy, Inge has been a nice pickup. Cast aside by the Tigers, and Oakland jumped all over him. They needed some stability at third, and he's provided that.
A little veteran leadership also in the clubhouse. And a guy who's been through the wars before. He's played in playoff games, and he's been in pennant races. This is a different team since he came over to Oakland.
2-2. Turns on that inside fastball and hits it hard but foul. There are three guys in this lineup, I think, that epitomize what it means to be a leader. Johnny Gomes, Brandon Inge, and Kurt Suzuki. Guys that bring it every single day. They step on the field, they expect to win. And they'll tell you, if you mess up and you're not doing it the right way, they'll get in your face.
That's huge, too. To have a veteran, a guy who's been through it, to tell you when you make a mistake.
Suzuki's a great leader from behind the plate and an exceptional catcher. Johnny Gomes has been with good ball clubs in the past. Tampa Bay, Cincinnati. Got a little taste of that Washington Nationals surge last year. Ball is hit into center field. Rasmus backs up a few steps. Makes the catch. Inge is retired. Kurt Suzuki making his first start of the series. And Suzuki, as I mentioned, to me, he would be catching every day. The A's lean so heavily on their starting pitching and the effectiveness of their pitching staff. I wouldn't even look at the .211 average or the fact that he's just hit one home run.
Yeah, and driven in 17 runs. It's what he does behind the plate. Very durable catcher until this year. Some injuries have taken his games played down. One of the more durable catchers in the American League.
Suzuki and Ricky Romero were teammates at Cal State Fullerton, part of a College World Series championship. This time he lifts it into right field. Should be an easy play for Rajay Davis, and Aaron Lefty has a bounce back second inning. Retires the A's in order. When we come back, Edwin Encarnacion will lead things off. He's the DH. Travis Snyder moves up to the 5th spot, and Yan Gomes makes his first start at first base since his return. Talking with Brett Cecil, and it was a tough night for Romero last night. An inning in the third, he gave up 4 hits, 8 earned runs as he walked 6. And the efforts continue for Romero. He is out early throwing this morning prior to the game, trying to get some answers in his mind. And a lot of people have offered things and suggested things, and there's certainly no problem with the lack of effort.
No.
He's been out here working hard trying to resolve his issues.
First guy on the field this morning, going out there just to get some tossing. I think that's the right thing to do. Get back out there as soon as possible. Get back out on the mound and find that release point.
Ball and a strike to Edwin Encarnacion. Ball is popped into right. Johnny Gomes comes in a few steps, moves to his left, makes the catch. Oakland came into this series winners of 14 of their previous 16 games. They've built upon that, and it's been lopsided. They won the first 2 games. They've outscored the Blue Jays by 21 runs. They've out-hit the Blue Jays by 10, and they have beaten the Blue Jays at their own game, the home run.
Yeah, the big number for me also, Buck, is the runners in scoring position. Look what Oakland has done when they get guys on. 10 for 17 with runners in scoring position. Blue Jays still looking for their first hit with a runner from on second or third base. Coco Crisp has done some major damage from that leadoff spot for Oakland.
Travis Snyder bumped up to the 5th spot.
John Farrell was saying today that he felt from the left-handed hitter standpoint, this is the guy who's been swinging the bat the best. So I've got to put him in an RBI situation. Malone has never faced the Blue Jays, but when you just watch Snyder over the last time, right now his swing is as good as anybody's.
And he's homered off lefties twice already this season. Got John Lester in Boston. Then his home run came against Travis Blackley in this series, 3rd inning of game 1.
Just missed one last night, too.
1-2. Good breaking ball down and away. Suzuki will throw to first to complete the strikeout. That's 5 straight retired by Tommy Malone.
A couple of strikeouts also, and with Malone, you better get him early. It's a good sweeping breaking ball right now. He's allowed 24 of his 52 runs in the first 2 innings this year. Breaking ball out of the zone, and Snyder swings over the 3rd inning on. His ERA is just over 2, so you better figure him out quickly.
He's a touch and feel guy, and it takes him an inning or 2 to really command both sides of the plate. And once he does that, it's lights out. Yan Gomes, first baseman, goes after the first pitch. It's a very good changeup.
It's a good scouting report right there to throw a changeup to Yan Gomes. Yan likes that first pitch fastball, and he is swinging as soon as he steps into that batter's box.
Coming right back with another changeup. Same spot, same result.
Think they do it 3 in a row?
Now, why not? Oftentimes, pitchers won't trust what they see. Well, he's sitting on that changeup now. Huh? If you can't hit it, keep throwing it. Here it comes. He hits it, but right to the 3rd baseman. Inge takes his time. Tommy Malone has set down 6 straight to start this ball game. For live coverage of the opening ceremony from London 2012. It all begins at 2 p.m. Eastern. The nations of the world have gathered and the party's about to begin. The opening ceremony, Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern on Sportsnet East, Ontario, West, and Pacific. That's always one of the great events in sports during a year. We had a chance to see the opening ceremony from London right here on Sportsnet at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Brandon Hicks, the shortstop, picks one up and away. Just enough off of that pitch to have Hicks out in front.
That's what you're talking about in the opening. If you can throw your four-seam fastball one speed and maybe take a little something off, there's two pitches. You can cut your fastball to the right and to the left, inside and outside. There's two more pitches. There's four. If you can sink the ball away from the right-handers or down and in to the left-handers, there's two more. That's all built off of one pitch, the fastball. And that is the thing that Aaron Laffey is doing quite well this year.
Missed with that changeup. It's a very simplified approach. Laffey used to throw a breaking ball, but he didn't command it very well. So when he threw that breaking ball and missed with it, hitters eliminated that pitch and looked for one pitch. Looked for the fastball.
He didn't have the cut fastball that he is throwing with regularity this year. Gets on top of the ball nicely and drives it right in on the right-handers. That time he reached back for just a little bit more. It's 87 miles an hour, and it looked like it might have been a cutter that was up. Got underneath that one just a little bit. You can see they want it down and in. He got his hand underneath it, but he rose it to the top part of the strike zone. Something to watch today when you see our little miles per hour monitor there. Watch that and watch the variations of the types of pitches and the speeds. That's what it's all about.
Different spots at different velocities really create problems for hitters. Jemiah Weeks, the second baseman. Weeks has been dropped down in the batting order to the 9th spot. That hat might be just a tad big.
It's a good look for him, though, isn't it?
Love to see that Blue Jay helmet. 2 balls and a strike. Now that's a perfect afternoon. Sitting with Dad at the ballpark, having a snack. Boy, there's that late moving cutter down and in. Weeks swung right over the top of it.
You go to swing at it, you see fastball out of his hand, you go to swing for it, and then about halfway to home plate, you realize that ball's going to be right in on your hands.
Yan Gomes with a nice play. He was well off the bag at first and takes one away from Jemiah Weeks. Gomes a good player. Factor in that he's a catcher first and foremost, but he can play both corner positions. He makes a good play defensively right here and quickly flips to Laffey, who's right on the money.
You know, when you are playing third base and first base, he's also had some innings in the outfield, and he's caught. The game, when you move around the diamond like that, can become very tough to pick up the ball. You're on the left side of the infield, the ball comes off one way. Then you play on the right side and it comes back the other way. It can be like a backwards type of game.
Different type of English on the baseball. Back to the top of the order, Coco Crisp. Jeff Mathis did a real savvy thing after that play at first base. He went to the mound to help Aaron Laffey catch his breath. After that sprint to first base to cover the bag, Mathis wasn't going to let him throw another pitch until he caught his breath.
And it just takes a couple of minutes to go out there. He falls off to the third base side. The ball's hit hard, and he knew that Weeks could really run, and he was sprinting over to first base. So that is an excellent move by Mathis.
2-0. Chris went around. You see Laffey very deliberate when he sets himself on the rubber, looks in for a sign after he takes a deep breath, sets his hands in front of his chest, and then looks for the sign. It's a routine he repeats. Does the same thing before every pitch. It's like a golfer in his pre-shot routine.
I think every athlete has a routine that they go through. This is his right here. Down, up, clear the mind, execute a pitch.
And you know, it really helps if the catcher is in tune with that timing, because when he comes set, that sign's waiting for him and he's good to go.
No thinking. Eliminate all the extra negative thoughts that could come into your mind in between pitches.
3-2. Bounced foul. Chris got a piece of it, but banged it off his foot. Aaron Laffey giving up just one hit, but that ball left the yard. Josh Reddick with his 22nd home run came with 2 outs in the first. Fouled off the mask of Mathis. Mathis is catching, making his 25th start. J.P. Arancibia was knocked out of the game and knocked off to the disabled list last night with a broken hand. Arancibia did not get an at-bat in the game last night as he took a foul tip in the top of the second.
And he knew it too. As soon as it happened, he knew that that hand was broken. Said he wanted to finish the inning, Buck, and then he was signaling to Jeff Mathis on the bench, hey, get a bat. You're going to be leading off next inning. And they were like, what? He goes, I can't hit. Get a bat, get ready.
Yeah, we saw his hand before they put it in that cast this morning, and you could see exactly where the ball hit him on the back of his right hand. Another full count pitch, 2 outs. Chris takes a walk. A 2-out walk, first issued by Laffey this afternoon.
He's had a good series, Crisp. That was an excellent at bat with 2 outs to work the walk. And now they have a chance to possibly get him in the scoring position.
He can run. He's got 20 steals in 23 attempts. And Johnny Gomes is patient enough batting in a 2 spot to give him a pitch or 2 to run on. Laffey has only had 2 base stealing attempts against him, and they caught one of those 2 runners. Gomes takes a strike. That's the best way to defend a stolen base attempt. Throw 2 strikes
quickly. Get ahead very quickly and diffuse that running game if you can.
Oh, and 2 outs.
Coco stole his 100th base as a the other day on Sunday. The 11th A player to do that. So he can go. That was a 1-run lead right there from Chris, just trying to draw a throw from Laffey. Let's see if the Blue Jays think about possibly pitching out.
Blue Jays have done a good job shutting down the running game. They've allowed only 50 steals all season long. Went for that outside corner and missed. Baltimore Orioles are the only team that has allowed fewer stolen bases than the Blue Jays. The Orioles, with Matt Wieters behind the plate, have given up 42 stolen bases. The Blue Jays the next fewest at 50. Gomes got a piece of that changeup. The Angels have allowed the most steals in the American League. They've given up 85 stolen bases in 99 games. They've lost their regular catcher, Chris Iannetta. Bobby Wilson's been catching. Their starters, outside of Jared Weaver, a little bit deliberate. And that's led to a league-high 85 stolen bases. Johnny Gomes is having another good at bat. Got in a hole early, but now he's fouled off a good pitch and taken the close one inside.
2-2, 2 outs. Let's see if Crisp takes off here. If it's a strike, Gomes is going to swing and give him a little bit of help. That looks like they're going to throw over.
That running game defense comes from the bench. Nan Wakamatsu, the bench coach, will look for a sign from Oakland, and then Mathis will check with Wakamatsu. Another throw over. Signs will be different for every ball club, but Wakamatsu goes on counts, they go on scouting reports, they go on patterns. When does Crisp run? What count does he like to run most frequently on? He was going there.
Yep.
He was going on the first move and was able to take one jump towards second and still get back.
Again, 2-2 pitch is a good pitch to run on. That's why they have thrown over there 3 times. I'm sure the A's are going to take it off.
Not going. Gomes pops it into right. Long run for Rajay Davis in foul ground. Gets there, makes the catch. Third out of the inning. Coco Crisp with a 2-out walk. He's left on base. 1-0 Oakland. His rookie season. His ERA since June 20th is the best in the American League. He's got a 1.10 ERA. That's better than David Price, who won his 14th game last night. Felix Hernandez is always among the leaders in ERA. Gavin Floyd has come back off the disabled list and continues to pitch well. How about Jared Weaver? He's 13-1, but Tommy Malone has the best ERA among those great pitchers since the 20th of June.
2 previous starts before the start on the 20th, he had given up 12 earned runs and 6 walks. So now he's throwing his changeup a little bit better. He's staying out of the middle of the plate, being aggressive.
Kelly Johnson pops it down the left side. That ball is a foul ball. Cespedes never got to it, and it was just about 2 feet foul. Cespedes was playing over in the gap in left center. Had a long run and couldn't get there.
Here's the end of that play right here. He knows that it's going to be a foul ball, but he pulls up for some reason.
It wasn't that far foul.
Yeah, I thought if he ran through that ball, he had a chance to make the play.
Especially where that wall bends away, he can run parallel to that wall and still maintain his stride. Cutter just down and away. We mentioned the ERA for Malone since June 20th. For the season, he has the 3rd best rookie ERA in all of baseball. His season ERA is 3.34. Boy, catches the inside corner with a fastball. This kid can paint.
Yeah, this is a pretty simple, effective way to pitch. He's over on the first base side, and he hides the ball nicely, throws across his body. Tough for a left-hander to pick it up. He cuts it right on the inside corner, and there's nothing Johnson can do about it. Look at the angle from where that ball is coming from, out of his hand and then to the plate.
Catcher Jeff Mathis goes after the first pitch. It's a curveball. Easy play for Coco Crisp. 2 quick outs. That's 8 straight set down in order by Tommy Malone.
You can see why the Oakland A's wanted him in that deal for Gio Gonzalez from the Washington Nationals.
We mentioned the ERA. He's 3rd in rookie ERA in the big leagues. His teammate Jared Parker leads with a 3.00 ERA. Wade Miley of the Arizona Diamondbacks, the All-Star, has a 3.02 ERA. Omar Vizquel. Boy, this kid throws strikes, doesn't he?
Does it, or is the game that easy? Right now, he is making pitching look very easy. Throwing the changeup over, throwing his fastball over, curveball, moving it around. Looks like he works really well with Kurt Suzuki.
He's thrown 7 of 9 first pitch strikes. First time through the order. Vizquel is starting in place of Yunel Escobar, who is out of the lineup for a 2nd consecutive day with back issues. Vizquel strikes out. That's 4 strikeouts for Tommy Malone. He set down the Blue Jays in order for the first 3 innings. Presented by Schneider's Grillums, and don't those look good? Summer Fan Friday next will be tomorrow, July 27th. The Blue Jays will welcome in the Detroit Tigers for the first time this year. Game starts at 7:07 p.m. Come on down early and enjoy the pregame festivities happening outside Gate 10. It all starts at 4:30. There's a licensed area, live music, fun, and interactive games. For tickets, call the Blue Jays at 416-341-1234 or log on to BlueJays.com. Come on down, Summer Fan Fridays, and it'll take place tomorrow.
The rain should be all gone by then, so it should be a lot of fun tomorrow night.
Josh Reddick has the only hit of the ball game. A solo home run with 2 outs in the first. Murphy gets that ball inside.
We have 2 of the biggest improvement home run wise in this ball game today. Josh Reddick and Edwin Encarnacion from last year to this year. The types of seasons they are having. The long ball.
A couple of different reasons. Reddick's improvement has a lot to do with everyday play. He got a chance to play here with Oakland, and because of that, he's been able to put up big numbers. For Encarnacion, he just got off to a terrible start last season. Didn't hit a home run until the 29th of May.
And they welcome his home run bat in July. Look at the 29 home runs now in the month of July. That has really helped them to get to that 16-2 record, along with stellar pitching. ERA of just 2.
16-2. That is an impressive record. The Detroit Tigers are next at 15-5.
Reddick last year, July, he had 4 home runs for the Boston Red Sox. Now he has 22. And you're right, it all has to do about playing time, because Oakland is not a home run hitter's ballpark. But he's playing. He's got a nice swing. Showed flashes of it last year. Bob Melvin gets an everyday player in that trade for Andrew Bailey.
Andrew Bailey and Ryan Sweeney went to Boston. Reddick and a minor league pitcher came to the Athletics, and Reddick has really taken advantage of this great opportunity. Full count. Josh Reddick leading off the top half of the 4th. Fouls it straight back just to our left.
If we run over there quickly, I think we can get it. There he goes.
Mr. Stats caught Carson having a peek around the corner. Another 3-2 pitch from Laffey. Drops down, and Reddick gets a piece of it.
It's always a sign of a good hitter when a pitcher does something different like that. Especially if you swing the same arm that he throws with, and he drops down and throws that little breaking ball, and you're able to keep your front shoulder in there. You don't give any ground to him. You're going to get a lot of base hits that way.
This ball is driven on the line to left. Snyder is right there and makes the catch. Reddick hit it hard. One out now. The left fielder, Jonas Cespedes, will step in. Boy, he's a good-looking hitter. Our first chance to see him up close and personal, and he's putting up big numbers. 300 average, 13 homers, and 50 RBIs for a guy playing in his first big league season. Signed as a free agent, defected from Cuba, and the A's won a bidding war. It was a good call.
No minor leagues. Think about that. Comes over here. A lot of times you see the Cubans come over here and they go to the minor leagues to polish off their game, but not this kid.
Off speed pitch deep in the hole. Vizquel slips and can't make a throw. As he tried to set his right foot, his spikes didn't grab, lost his footing, and couldn't make a throw. It'd be an infield hit for Cespedes.
Can run too. This would have been interesting if Omar could have come up with it right there when he planted that right foot to try and get it across the diamond. It would have been interesting to see if he had a chance to get him, because Cespedes from the right side can really run.
Chris Carter, the first baseman, goes after that first pitch. It's an off-speed pitch, and he fouls it back. Let me ask you this. Does Oakland have staying power?
Can they stay in the race? From what we've seen from their pitching, certainly. They're starters. They throw strikes. They work quickly. They play good defense. We haven't seen their best relievers yet in this series. We haven't seen Ryan Cook,
Grant Balfour, Sean Doolittle, Jordan Oberto. We haven't seen any of those guys, and those are the guys that they use in late situations when they have a lead.
At the back end. And you were talking yesterday about 3 pitchers that are doing some rehabbing for major league pitchers. Good pitchers.
Brandon McCarthy is probably the closest to coming back to the active roster. Brett Anderson, a left-hander and a good-looking left-hander, is close to a rehab. He's supposed to start his rehab today in Salt Lake City. So it just depends on how well that goes, how many to rehab. But you see where the Athletics are. They're tied with the Angels, 5 games back of Texas. Snap throw to first. Cespedes just barely back ahead of the tag. Gomes did a good job of putting that tag right on the bag at first.
Yep. Made it very close. Cespedes went back feet first instead of diving back. And Gomes, watch how quickly he takes it and goes right down to the corner of that bag. But he is safe. So you ask me, do they have enough? I think they might need another bat or 2.
Yeah.
They need a little bit more offense, but yeah, I think they can.
Well, the one thing is they don't score many runs. They haven't scored many runs all year long, and July is the exception offensively for the Athletics. Brandon Inge, the third baseman. Cespedes can run. Pitch outside. The one thing you have to remember about this Athletics team, they've gone 31-14 from June 2nd on. But on June 1st, that was the last of 9 straight losses. So there is that possibility there as well. Inge hits this one hard. He put a charge in it, and that's going to leave the yard. Brandon Inge with his 11th home run of the season, a 2-run shot. Another big hit with 2 outs for Oakland.
And 2 more runs coming on the home run. It's a team that's just behind the Blue Jays and scoring runs via the home run. And Brandon Inge puts a charge. It looked like a changeup. 11th home run this season, 150th of his career. Looked like a changeup that was down. And he went out and got his 8th home run in his career here at Rogers Center. And that's a line drive over that scoreboard for 2 quick runs.
Inge has now driven 8 runs against the Blue Jays this season. This is his 5th game. He had a grand slam walk-off home run against the Blue Jays out in Oakland. And they're the 2 guys we were talking about, Johnny Gomes and Brandon Inge, who have provided some leadership on this team. Tell you what, there are rumors that Oakland is looking to pick up a bat, preferably a shortstop. And it'll be interesting to see if they can pull that off. They have the reputation, and I say that with respect, but they have the reputation of having a pretty deep farm system. A lot of prospects in their farm system, and Escobar has been mentioned in rumors. What a play by Laurie. Oh my. He takes a hit away from Kurt Suzuki. That ends the inning, but Oakland has expanded their lead to 3-0. Blue Jays will go back to defense here as Laurie takes away a hit from Suzuki. Fine play to the backhand. Middle of the 4th. Oakland 3-0. Tommy Malone, the A's starter, has been impressive. He's retired the Blue Jays in order, and he's done it with a combination of pitches. He struck out Travis Snyder on a breaking ball, and then gets the fastball in a good spot to Kelly Johnson.
Yeah, his average velocity is only 87 miles an hour, but he's able to move the ball in and out, and then complements that fastball with a very good curveball and a very good changeup. Now 4 strikeouts through 9 batters, first time through the lineup. Let's see if the Blue Jays' approach is a little bit different now the second time through.
This is his, excuse me, Pat, this is his 4th start in July. He has 4 strikeouts already. He's had a career-high 10 strikeouts against New York his last time out. And he also had a 9 strikeout game against Seattle on the 6th of July in Oakland. That's the first hit of the ball game for the Blue Jays. Rajay Davis is aboard.
Right man on base right there also. Looked like he tried to throw that cutter on the inside part. He just fought it off into right field. They want it down. It's up. Inside out swing. Fights it off. Jays first base runner.
Well, Blue Jays might want to gamble. Just start the runner. See if they can't open something up offensively. In this series, they've been outscored 25-2. Kobe Rasmus, a strikeout victim his first time up. Kurt Suzuki, the catcher, has thrown out 38% of the base stealers this year. Rasmus drills it to center. Coco Crisp backs up a couple of steps and hauls it in.
Hit the ball hard. They have challenged him with fastballs at that time. Rasmus just couldn't get it to one side or the other of Coco Crisp. Malone does a good job of holding runners. They rarely try to steal when he is on the mound. He doesn't have what's classified as a great pickoff move, but he does a very good job of holding runners on base.
He does have 4 pickoffs this season. Saw Travis Blackley in the opener. He has 6.
Yeah, he's got an excellent move.
Well, that's a pretty good move right there.
I would have been back. I wouldn't be stealing.
But he had a very similar to move, that of Travis Blackley's. Kind of hangs that right foot in the air, maintains his balance, and then commits. Laurie, little looper into center. That'll get down. Rajay Davis, quick turnaround second. Good job, and Laurie is back at first base. First and third. Here come the Jays.
Coco Crisp was trying to decoy Rajay Davis, and Rajay wasn't going to have anything to do with it. Ball hit off the end of the bat just a little bit, and Crisp came in acting like he was going to catch it. Rajay read it right away, right off the bat, and he makes it without a throw to third base. Good first to third running by Rajay Davis.
Base hit extends Laurie's hit streaks to 5 games. He's now hit in 5 straight. He is 8 for 18. The table is set. Edwin Encarnacion. Consistent approach for Encarnacion all season long. 295 average, 301 with runners in scoring position. Malone has given up the home runs. 16 so far this season. Encarnacion has a good read on Malone right now.
Very patient. He knows what he's trying to do to him. And second time through, they seem to have figured a little something out. 3 straight good at bats by Toronto here in the 4th inning.
First time through the order, Malone retired 9 straight. Second time through the order, single, line drive, single. It's camp day at Rogers Center. A lot of kids on hand. They'd love to see a home run right here. High, deep left field. Edwin Encarnacion has made them all happy.
You can tell us that at-bat was taking place, that Encarnacion was getting locked in and had a definite idea of what Malone was going to try and do to him. Looked like a breaking ball over the middle of the plate, and he scorches it to left field, and it carries on a day like today easily into the second deck.
A new career high for Encarnacion, his 27th home run. A 3-run shot. He now has 27 homers and 70 RBIs.
Getting closer to his career high in RBIs, too, isn't he? I believe that's 77?
76 RBIs in 2007 with the Reds. What a season he has put together. Boy, you could see that coming. He had taken some close pitches, and his timing was right on the money.
Yeah, he knows what Malone was trying to do to him.
3-3 game. Snyder swings and misses. 2-2. Well, the Blue Jays have a little information on Mr. Malone, second time through the lineup. Cutter off the plate. Snyder strikes out for a second time. That's 2 down this inning.
Strikeout number 5 in the afternoon. Second time that he has gotten Travis Snyder. It's that breaking ball away, and Travis knows it, that he just couldn't stay on it. Pulled off just a little bit. We'll have to make that adjustment against Malone next time up.
Yan Gomes grounded to third. That ended the second inning. It's a breaking ball outside. Ball on a strike.
Like how the Blue Jays came right back after giving up 2 in the top of the inning. They come right back to tie it.
We've always talked about that as far as the Blue Jays are concerned from the pitching point of view.
Right man in the right spot right there. Down by 3, tying run at the plate.
That ball off the end of the bat. Cespedes is there, and the inning is over. But what an inning it was. Blue Jays score 3 in the bottom of the 4th to tie it at 3-all. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Hazel May and Greg Zahn in the Blackbird broadcast studio. remind you that the Blue Jays Super Camps are coming up. They're presented by Baseball Canada and Little League Canada. London, Ontario will be the site July 30th, 31st, and August 1st at Centerfield Sports. The instructors include Jesse Barfield, Frank Catalanato, Dwayne Ward, and Mookie Wilson. Visit BlueJays.com/Baseball Academy for more information. Little tapper up the third base line. Laffey to his knees in time. Good play. Aaron Laffey's a very good athlete. He can field his position, and that's huge when you become an extra infielder. Throw a lot of sinkers, a lot of off-speed pitches. You're going to get some ground balls.
Take it yourself. If you can get to a changeup out in front, dives, comes up quickly, and I like how he was able to grip that baseball that fast and make a good throw. Gomes gives him a good spot over there at first base as he sets up on the inside of the infield. Those little idiosyncrasies of playing different positions. It looks like Yan Gomes has him down.
Man does a good job of working out at all the different positions, and most recently he's been the everyday catcher in AAA after the injury to Travis Duano. Jamal Weeks grounded out to Gomes his first time up. This is where a pitcher has to manage the lineup. When you're down in the bottom of the order, you get the first batter out, number 8 hitter. You need to get this guy out right here. Give yourself 2 outs before you turn the lineup over.
We'll face a hot hitter in Crisp, who's had a great series.
Oftentimes, pitchers will get into the rut of pitching everybody the same, 1 through 9. You try to make great pitches to the number 9 hitter, you're going to fall behind. Managers put these guys down here because they have problems swinging the bat.
Yeah, hit 216 for a reason. Not because he's getting great pitches every single time up. He's just having a tough time right now.
Had a good pitch right there and tied up Weeks. Weeks leads the American League with 6 triples. He had a tough year last year at 300. This year he's down just over 200.
Well, you also want to keep him off the bases because he can run. He and Coco Crisp back to back can be tough on a pitcher. "13 stolen bases for Weeks, 20 for Crisp." So anytime you've got those kind of guys who can run, keep them off the bases.
Full count. Ground ball. That's a foul ball. Jerry Lane, the third base umpire, with a very late call. Called it foul. But Laurie couldn't wait to hear the umpire make a call. Home plate umpire Vic Carapazza had the call until that ball got past third, and now Weeks is thinking, hey, that was a fair ball. Last time I saw it, it crossed the bag at third.
Just realizing right now that it is called a foul, but you can see from that replay right away he calls it and yells at foul. And you're right, Brett Laurie can't wait around to hear it. He's just got to make that play and then see what happens afterwards.
And that was a great example because Jerry Lane indeed called it foul as soon as it hit in foul territory. And he hollered foul 3 times before he put his right arm in the air to indicate foul. Watch the umpire. Foul, foul, foul. And then the arm goes up. But he called it foul right away. Weeks is putting up a fight against Laffey. Jerry Lane, the veteran umpire, was behind the plate yesterday when J.P. Aronsebi got hit on that right hand. And Lane looked at the hand immediately and says, man, that looks bad. And he said, do you want me to throw the balls back for you?
Well, considering he couldn't even put the fingers down, the numbers to call the pitches.
Weeks works the walk, comes with 1 out. That'll turn the lineup over and bring Coco Crisp to the plate. Laffey, his second walk of the afternoon. The other was issued to Coco Crisp in the 3rd inning. Crisp never moved off first base as Johnny Gomes popped up to end the inning. Different story now. We're in a tie game, 3-3. Oh, a good job by Laffey to unload in a hurry and throw a strike.
Yeah, he'll hold the ball for a long time to upset the timing of that runner. Then he'll quick pitch at times to upset the runner over at first base. He's doing a very good job of holding those runners on.
Base hit down the left side. Travis Snider trying to cut it off. He does. Throws the ball to third. Vizquel's got a shot at second, but nobody hollered at him. Snider might have been better off to throw that ball to second base to keep the double play in order. You've got Weeks running from first, who's got terrific speed. He did a good job cutting the ball off, but he's better served by going to second to keep Crisp from advancing.
Yeah, anytime that you've got the speed on the bases and you've got to move a long way to your right or to your left, you've got to concede that front base and keep the ball back into the infield to keep Crisp at first base. You can see how far Travis has to go to get the ball. And Weeks is going to make it with his speed. He's going to make it easily without a throw. It's that back runner, Crisp, that he's got a chance to get at second base, or at least when you come up throwing to second, you make him put the brakes on.
Do you think there was any concern about the possibility of Weeks trying to score if you throw to second?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he had a chance to score from first base on a ball that's cut off by the outfielder.
But Coco Crisp does a good job of reading the play. He moves into scoring position and stays out of a double play situation. Second and third, one out, Johnny Gomes. They credit Coco Crisp with a double.
He never stopped around first base. He was going to go out there, he was going to make the turn, and he was going to make the Blue Jays stop him. There's that number 9 hitter you were talking about. After you get the first out on Hicks, you got the number 9 hitter, you end up walking him, and you just ask him for trouble.
Yeah, you encourage the offense when you get that number 9 hitter and give him a chance to get on base. Two and 0 to Johnny Gomes. Down and away. Left-handed hitter on deck is Josh Reddick, but he doesn't yield to lefty pitching. Reddick has hit well against left-handed pitching all season long.
7 of his 22 home runs, 8 of his 22 home runs have come against lefties this year.
Got a better average against lefty pitching than he does against right-handers. And the bases are loaded. Johnny Gomes, second walk of the inning, third of the game, issued by Laffey, and here comes Josh Reddick. He's already done some damage.
Pitching the first inning, they want the ball down and away. It just stays over the middle of the plate, and you can see how smooth that swing was. He also then lined out to left field his second time, so he's seeing the ball this afternoon against Aaron Laffey. Right now, make your pitch and see if you can get the ball on the ground.
Upstairs. Reddick has grounded into a team-high 12 double plays. Weeks at third, Crisp at second, Johnny Gomes at first. Breaking ball strike. Oakland has hit 3 grand slams this season. Brandon Inge has 2. One of those coming against the Blue Jays, and Johnny Gomes has the other. On the ground, Kelly Johnson to Vizquel. Back to first, not in time. Reddick got out of the box in good shape. The ball wasn't sharply hit. Jamal Weeks, who took the one-out walk, scores the go-ahead run. Another RBI for Josh Reddick.
His second of the night around second base. Johnson to Vizquel, and watch the runner Gomes right on top of Vizquel, making it tough for him to unload that. Reddick runs too well, and they were just not going to turn two on that ball.
And Johnny Gomes having an impact again, this time on the bases. But that wasn't a sharply hit double play ball by any means. So Oakland has taken a one-run lead, 4-3. Every time you look up in run-producing situations, Cespedes steps in.
Keeps the inning alive. Also, that slide gets them a run and keeps the inning alive and gives their fourth hitter, their cleanup batter, Cespedes, another shot with runners on base.
He's hit .375 with runners on base and 2 outs. Has 50 ribbies for the season. Sound like he broke his bat. Laurie goes to second for the force out. The inning comes to an end, but the Oakland Athletics take advantage of a one-out walk and have taken a one-run lead. Fans, get your daytime baseball fix with Sam Cosentino and Dirk Hayhurst on Baseball Central at noon, weekdays on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. And right here on Rogers Sportsnet, Dirk Hayhurst, former relief pitcher in the big leagues, and Sam Cosentino. Been around the game most of his life. They'll bring you up to date on Baseball Central at noon. Kelly Johnson struck out his first time up back in the third. He bunts it up the first baseline. Malone gets off the mound in time to throw him out. One down, bottom of the fifth.
Seeing some pitchers who are athletes. It looked like Johnson, Kelly wanted to get that ball by Malone. Try and bring it with him with the left-hander falling off to the third base side. Just can't get it out there far enough. Malone, looks like he can field his position also.
Well, just like Aaron Laffey, he's not an overpowering guy, not going to rack up an awful lot of strikeouts, and he's going to get some of those check swing tappers and bunts in front of the plate. So got to work on your fielding. Mathis flied out to center his first time up.
Certainly finishes his pitches in good position to field. Doesn't have one of those exaggerated, really fall off the mound or high follow through with his back leg. Look at that. It's just very simple.
When it's simple like that, with not much extra motion, you can repeat that delivery. Pitch after pitch, everything is the same. Back up the middle, base hit for Jeff Mathis.
Want a better tasting burger? Then step up to the plate for a Sirloin Uncle Burger at A&W. Made with 5 ounces of juicy sirloin, it's a taste of burger bliss.
Roof is closed, and the CN Tower standing tall behind it. Once again, we'd like to thank all of those of you who have donated to the Jays Care Foundation for Pat and I walking on the Edge Walk yesterday. It was a huge success and a lot of fun.
Raised a lot of money, too.
Yeah, we sure did. Over $10,000, and it was a great effort by the Jays Care Foundation to put it all together in a very short period of time. Omar Vizquel with Mathis at first. Hit and run is on. Suzuki double clutched, and the throw is not in time. Kurt Suzuki looked like he didn't have a good grip on the baseball, and double clutch cost him.
It looked
and
like
now they're going to call Vizquel for interference and send Mathis back. John Farrell is going to come out and argue with Vic Carapazza.
Well, he swung at the pitch.
Yeah, and he stayed in the batter's box, and he didn't appear to come out of the batter's box, so he will be called out. Vic Carapazza, the home plate umpire, made the call. There's the swing, and he is standing up. That is not a good call, because Suzuki double clutched because he didn't have a grip on the ball. Had nothing to do with where Vizquel was. Watch Vizquel right there, and you can see Suzuki double clutched before Vizquel ever became an issue, but he is called out, and Mathis has to go back to first.
Boy, it had worked out really for the Blue Jays. A nifty slide at second base by Mathis. The throw beat him, but he slid, stopped, and then got back on the bag, and he was called safe, but now he's got to go back to first.
Rajay Davis drives it to right. Johnny Gomes back just on the warning track. And the Blue Jays look like they had something going against Tommy Malone, but they get a favorable call, and they have another easy inning. Oakland leads it 4-3. Green chairs in the TD Comfort Zone are guests of the Good Neighbors Club, a daytime center offering dignity and friendship to older, homeless, and marginalized men in downtown Toronto. The TD Comfort Zone, courtesy of TD. Welcome, and thanks for the great job you do helping out some of the fine people in downtown Toronto, and you are in the front row watching a good ball game here. Oakland leads at 4-3. Chris Carter will start things off for the Athletics. Carter has struck out twice so far this afternoon. Aaron Laffey has allowed 4 runs on 4 hits, and he really has Chris Carter all messed up.
Yeah, he is talking to himself right now. That changeup has baffled him all afternoon. Just not seeing the ball real well.
Breaking ball missed. That's the curveball. We hadn't seen that from Laffey until that pitch. He put that on the shelf last time out against the Red Sox. Brandon Lyon loosening up for the Blue Jays. Brett Lawrie quickly to his feet. High throw, and Gomes comes down on top of the base. What a good play by Yan Gomes. Lawrie uncorked a high throw. Gomes went up, grabbed it, and came right down on top of the bag.
The presence of mind to know that he still has a shot to get that runner. Lawrie once again to his right, and watch Gomes keep that right foot in his mind and make the out. Brett Lawrie with a high throw, and he says, "Thank you, Yan Gomes, for an athletic play at first base." Good job on both ends.
Well, it sure was. And Lawrie knew that he had to put a lot on that throw. There's really a great shot of Gomes going up in the air and looking back down to see where the base was. And he got that right foot back on the bag ahead of Chris Carter. 1 out. Brandon Inge.
Watch this play once again. He goes up, finds the bag as he's coming back down, and he keeps that right leg over the bag to get him out. That's a nice play.
0-2. Inge lays off. Yan Gomes wasn't even on the radar when he got to spring training. He had been a backup player in Double-A. Served as the backup catcher to Travis d'Ormeau. And he had a good year as a backup player. Before he came to spring training, he opened up a lot of eyes.
And worked very hard on those backfields with Brian Butterfield, wanting to get better, wanting to know those different parts of playing different infield positions.
Brandon Inge chases a high pitch and strikes out.
Aaron Laffey now has thrown the highest number of pitches this year in one of his starts. His previous high was 92 pitches, 6 innings. He has been good for in all of his starts, and he picks up another strikeout, his 4th of the afternoon with that high breaking ball.
There's 104 pitches, as Pat mentioned, but he's on the wrong side of a 4-3 score. 2 outs. Kurt Suzuki picks a breaking ball. Laffey's given up a pair of home runs this afternoon, a solo shot to Josh Reddick in the first, and a 2-run homer to Brandon Inge in the 4th. Second time this season he's given up 2 homers in a ball game. Kurt Suzuki gets a base hit into center field. Rasmus over cuts it off and gets it back in. So Suzuki has a hit. John Farrell has popped out of the dugout, and he's looking at Jerry Lane saying, "I want the right-hander," and Brandon Lyon has been called into this ball game. Farrell knows his team is desperate for a win, and as much as he'd like to give Aaron Laffey a chance to get out of this inning with 2 outs, he's going to match up. So Laffey will hand the ball over. Another solid outing for Aaron Laffey. He allows just 5 hits, but he trails 4-3. afternoon. It is camp day, and there are many camps here at the ballpark. They're all dressed up in their camp T-shirts, and they've all made signs as part of their summer camp projects. And it's great to have him here, and they're going to get a chance to see Brandon Lyon make his second appearance for the Blue Jays.
Last word 5 days ago in Boston versus the Red Sox. Lyon an inning in that game. 39 now on the season. Appearances 0-2 with an excellent earned run average of 316. Good fastball. He's got a slider, and he'll sink his fastball a little bit.
Brandon Hicks picks one up and away. This is 0 for 2. Mentioned Brandon Lyon had just joined the ball club. He and Jay Happ came from the Houston Astros in a trade. Ben Francisco and Francisco Cordero going in the opposite direction, along with some minor league pitchers. Good breaking ball. Brandon Lyon broke in with the Blue Jays in 2001. He was a starting pitcher. Made 11 starts that season and pitched very well. He didn't spend much time in the minor leagues. He was always a strike thrower. Had the ability to command several pitches and throw a strike at will.
21 starts in his career, all with Toronto. When that didn't work out, and I'm saying that because he's very valuable as a reliever. He can come in and give you multiple innings out of the bullpen, and you said it, he can throw strikes. That's what you need. He's closed some games in his career also.
Comes in and puts out the fire. Gets Hicks on the breaking ball. Aaron Laffey is appreciative of the third out of the inning. When we come back, Colby Erasmus will start things off. Brett Laurie already has a hit, has scored a run, and Edwin Encarnacion a career high 27th home run back in the fourth. It's time for Inside the Numbers, brought to you by the Aspire Travel World MasterCard from Capital One. We're going to take a closer look at these two pitching staffs and see how they match up according to the average age of pitching staffs. Kansas City Royals lead the pack with an average age of 27 years, 176 days. The White Sox, the Rangers, which is kind of a surprising number, and then the Athletics. The Blue Jays are 8th on that list, and they have an average age of 28, 3, 25. But the Athletics have always turned their pitching staffs over. They don't have the money to keep those farm hands that they have developed AJ Griffin was the winner in last night's game. And one of the young pitchers that have pitched so well for Oakland this season. Colby Rasmus has gone 0 for 2, but he hit a line drive last time up to center. Right at Coco Crisp. Mentioned the youthfulness of the A's pitching staff. The A's rookie pitchers have recorded 27 of the 53 team wins this year. And that's the way they have to operate.
Yep.
Base hit right past Chris Carter into right. Colby Rasmus finally found a hole.
It took him to get through 3 infielders on the right side. A bullet just out of the reach of Carter. There are 3 infielders. They start to play that shift. They pitch him inside, and it's placed perfectly out of the reach of Carter.
Well, this is the perfect time to play hit and run if you're the Blue Jays. You got a great base runner in first. You got a guy at the plate that makes good contact. Brett Lawrie. Lawrie is 1 for 2. He singled and scored in the 4th.
And you've got a pitcher who's always around the plate.
Not going. Lawrie drives it into right. That's a base hit. Johnny Gomes comes up throwing. That keeps Rasmus at second base. Back-to-back singles. Again, the table is set for the thumper, Edwin Encarnacion.
And nobody warming up in the bullpen for the Oakland Athletics. So this is on Tommy Malone right here. A ball that started cutting in. A nice little inside-out swing by Brett Lawrie. Sets the table once again for Edwin Encarnacion.
A 3-run home run his last time up. Look at those numbers. 297, 27, and 70.
Edwin has a plan. 2-0 pitch his last time up. They cut a fastball in. He was looking for something away. And he took it for a strike and filed that one away. And when they tried to go back in there, that's when he went deep. Couple on, just 1 out. Pitch, hanger over the middle of the plate. Pitcher knew it, and I think Encarnacion knew it as he ties it up with that home run. And it gets him to 70 RBIs. Same situation here. Couple runners on.
Ball and a strike. Tommy Malone in a jam. Bounce that gets away from Suzuki. The runners will move up. Now what do you do if you're Bob Melvin? It's a wild pitch. First base is open. Still nobody out.
Ball that was down. Suzuki is very good at blocking it, but he just doesn't stay down long enough. Thought that ball was going to bounce up.
So they have a base open and a left-handed hitter on deck. They're going to pitch to Encarnacion.
There's that pitch again. That's the one that he took his last time up as Travis Snyder awaits. And then when Malone went back to that pitch last time, he missed his spot, and Encarnacion unloaded on him.
Check swing, and that got a piece of the catcher. They cut Suzuki inside that right leg. Carapazza got hit in this at bat on the right thumb, and now had to come out and check on Suzuki. This might be a twofold trick. Suzuki cut that inside the right thigh.
Another cutter check swing, and it bounces off the turf. Keeps nodding his head that he's okay.
Aaron Laffey was the starter. He went 5 2/3, scattered 5 hits. Still debriefing with his catcher, Jeff Mathis. Oakland leads 4-3. Blue Jays have a chance to take the lead right here. Off the end of the bat, and that shatters his bat. Good changeup. That's a bread and butter pitch for Tommy Malone.
Yeah, we've seen that all afternoon. Changeup, cutter on the inside to righties, changeup down and away. He also has a decent curveball. We haven't seen too many of those.
Edwin had a 2-homer game back on the 14th of July right here against the Cleveland Indians. His only multi-home run game of the year. Strike 3 call. Vic Carapazza rings up Encarnacion. Well, you talk about a manager having confidence in a rookie pitcher. Bob Melvin let him pitch to Encarnacion, and Tommy Malone strikes him out.
They know their players better than we do, and he totally crosses them up. Encarnacion thinks that ball is low, but he slips the fastball by him. Surprises him. Followed that up after that changeup. Surprised that he was pitching to him, but he knows his players better than we do, and it worked out for him so far.
Boy, it sure did. He made a great pitch. Still just 1 out, Travis Snyder. Snyder had a rough day against Tommy Malone. He struck out twice. Here's where he's got to battle. Put the ball in play. Get the ball to the outfield, and at least you'll tie up the game.
You know, it would help, I think, Travis, if he would think about a line drive right over the shortstop's head. They have gotten ahead of him and then went breaking ball away. This is where a good spot for him to make that adjustment.
Safety squeezes on, and it's going to work. Throw to first, hits Snyder. Second run's going to come in to score. Here's Laurie scores. They've got Snyder hung up, and they'll tag him out. But the Blue Jays have taken the lead on a safety squeeze by Travis Snyder. Two of their best base runners on base, and they pulled it off perfectly.
Boy. He knows that Snyder had been struggling against him. 2 strikeouts and 2 at-bats. So you give him 1 shot, you see 1 pitch, then you put the squeeze on. Just get it down. Anywhere with speed on the bases, let them do everything else. And Rasmus scores without a throw. When the ball gets away from Carter at first base, that allows Laurie to score, and Snyder's going to be tagged out. But what a play, what a bunt, what a call by John Farrell.
Well, it sure was, and you've got a matchup that's really favorable. Jan Gomes goes after the first pitch and flies out to center field. But the Blue Jays, with Travis Snyder executing perfectly, pulls off the squeeze bunt that leads to 2 runs. The Blue Jays have taken a 5-4 lead after 6. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Any accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Travis Snyder is credited with an infield hit on the bunt. Picks up an RBI. He is out in the rundown. 4-6-3, but Blue Jays score a second run on the air charge to the pitcher. Perfectly executed safety squeeze bunt. Rasmus timed it perfectly, and Snyder delivered a perfect bunt.
Another instance where the manager has a good feel for what his players can do. Didn't have too good at bats against Malone his first 2 times up, so he puts the sacrifice. And the wild pitch set that whole inning up for Blue Jays.
Quite sure did. The wild pitch with Encarnacion at the plate allowed Rasmus and Laurie to move up. Tommy Malone made a good pitch on Encarnacion to strike him out, but then Snyder dropped a perfect bunt. Lyon falls behind. Weeks started the A's rally in the 5th with a 1-out walk. For a Blue Jay lead. They have out-hit the A's 7-5. But as they have done throughout this series, Oakland has out-homered the Blue Jays 2-1. On the ground, Vizquel waits, quickly unloads, and Weeks is retired. With 1 out, let's check in with Hazel May. Thank you, Hazel. The Tampa Bay Rays, James Shields, has been the subject of rumors. He was hit hard today. 5 innings, 5 hits, 5 earned runs. He walked 5 and struck out 8. But he has been linked to some rumors with the Angels. Possibility of being traded out there. Wade Davis is another pitcher that a lot of teams have inquired about with Tampa Bay. And that ball got deep into kitchen to Coco Crisp.
Touched that ball right in there. Wade Davis is an interesting guy. He was a starter for the Tampa Bay Rays. They moved him into the bullpen because they had too much starting pitching at the beginning of the season. He has thrown well, and teams are looking at him as a starter.
Yeah, he's a young guy. I think he's 24 years old. Yeah, certainly has a lot of upside. For the Orioles, Chris Tillman started that ball game. He has thrown 6 innings of 3 hit shutout balls. Good curveball. Brandon Lyon strikes out Coco Crisp. Second strikeout for Lyon since entering the ball game.
Crisp has had a great series, but Brandon Lyon's going to pull the string on him right here. A little hesitation, and then drops the curveball on him. Keep the speed off the bases. Good start here to the 7th inning.
Johnny Gomes. Ryan jumps ahead with a good fastball. Oh, 2.
What's new? Strike thrower, and they're quality pitches too. Fastballs on the outside part of the plate. It looked like Johnny Gomes was looking for something off speed on those first couple of pitches.
Strike 3 call. Cut fastball down and away. A 1-2-3 inning for Brandon Lyon in the 7th. He strikes out the final 2 of the inning. Johnny Gomes caught looking at a Brandon Lyon cutter. 3 strikeouts in an inning in the 3rd for Lyon. Blue Jays Farm Report, and we'll check in on David Cooper, who's at Las Vegas, and over his last 10 games, he's been swinging a hot bat. 24 his last 42. He's at 9 doubles. His OPS is 1.273. David Cooper's had a lot of success in Las Vegas. He won the batting crown there last year in the PCL. He's had a couple of cups of coffee with the Blue Jays.
He can hit. Right now, there's just no room for him right here at the big league level. You've got Edwin Encarnacion, pretty much the everyday first baseman. He's not going to take his spot, and Adam Lind has been DHing for the most part.
Kelly Johnson, the second baseman. Johnson struck out in the 3rd inning, his first at bat. That was his 100th strikeout of the season. Club record for a second baseman in strikeouts is 102. Set by Aaron Hill in 2007. Been one thing that Kelly Johnson has really tried to work on, and trying to cut down the number of strikeouts. This ball high and deep to right. Johnny Gomes looking up. Home run, Kelly Johnson.
You know what? I can handle the strikeouts as long as there's power attached to it. Kelly Johnson got up to a great start power-wise this year. Had a little bit of a drought for between his 9th and 10th home run, and now this is number 11, and it's a big one. Finding breaking ball from Malone, he stayed back on that one much better and drills it into the bullpen in right field. So you can handle all the strikeouts, but if you've got some power with it, sure, the Blue Jays will take it.
Jeff Mathis. Mathis with a single his last time up. Good smile for Kelly Johnson. It's been a while. His 11th home run has given the Blue Jays a cushion, 6-4 now. Ball in the dirt. Good crowd on hand. It was camp day here at Rogers Center. 39,003. That's the 18th time this season the Blue Jays have gone over 39,000. Biggest crowd of the year was 48,000. Mathis pops into right, and he's retired. It's the first out of the bottom of the seventh. For Kelly Johnson, that was just his second home run in his last 46 games, so he had a reason to smile. It's been a long drought, and he waited back very well on that breaking ball and put a charge in it.
I think he hit number 9 in the end of May, 10 in Chicago right before the All-Star break, and now he gets number 11 here this afternoon.
Vizquel shows bunt, takes a strike. Veteran Darren Oliver is standing ready in the bullpen. Bouncing ball gets past the pitcher. Hicks throws out Omar Vizquel. 2 down. Mentioned Vizquel is starting for a second consecutive day at shortstop. Yunel Escobar was pulled out of the lineup last night before the start of the game with stiffness in his back. And Vizquel stepped right in. Rajay Davis hits a high fly ball down the left field line. Cespedes won't get there. Looked like a changeup that Davis kind of hit with one hand. He was out in front of it. The Blue Jays fell behind 3-0. Oakland scored a single run in the first on a home run by Josh Reddick. Added 2 in the fourth on a 2-run shot by Brandon Inge, and then one swing of the bat from Edwin Encarnacion, a 3-run home run. That tied it at 3-0.
Jays need this one, especially after last night. The way things unfolded last night, that pounding 16-0, and Aaron Sebia getting injured in that game. They need some good news.
They sure do, and it's been a roller coaster ride for John Farrell. Rajay Davis caught looking at a fastball. That's a strikeout. The 7th strikeout for Tommy Malone, but he gives up a leadoff home run to Kelly Johnson. The Blue Jays have a 2-run lead. It'll be the veteran Darren Oliver coming on to pitch the 8th. Great times are waiting. Please enjoy responsibly.
6th inning, and the Blue Jays are down by a run. They've got runners at 2nd and 3rd. The big, strong Encarnacion strikes out. They need some runs right here. So the smart play goes to John Farrell and the Blue Jays for putting on the squeeze bunt as Snyder comes around and does a great job. Laurie comes from second base to score the run. Smart play because Snyder had struck out twice against Malone. He lays down the sacrifice bunt to put the Blue Jays ahead.
Well, John Farrell didn't like what he saw from Travis Snyder in his first 2 at-bats after Snyder struck out twice against Tommy Malone. And then after the Encarnacion strikeout, he said, you know what, we better get a run here. And they got 2. Darren Oliver is on to make his 41st appearance of the season. Brandon Lyon is the pitcher of record. He worked an inning and a third and had 3 strikeouts.
Well, through strikes, it was very good. Darren Oliver last worked on the 21st against the Red Sox. Picked up a hold in that game, an inning, a hit, and a strikeout against Boston.
Josh Reddick has driven in a pair, and he pops this one up. Rajay Davis, the right fielder, comes in, makes the grab. Reddick is retired. 1 up, 1 down here in the 8th. Casey Jansen has already started to throw in the bullpen. Jansen has not pitched in a while. He last pitched on Friday night in Boston. So he knew he was going to pitch in this game, and now, the way it stands right now, it would be a save situation. In Boston, he came in a non-save situation and struggled through an inning of work through 27 pitches. But he's only had that one appearance since the 14th of July. Long layoff.
That is a long layoff for a closer, and that's hard to get consistent work when your team is not giving you save situations.
Well, you'll remember that Jansen was going to pitch on Wednesday afternoon in New York on that afternoon day game, but the rain was in the area, eventually postponed the game, canceled the game, and abbreviated the game, so Jansen didn't have a chance to work in that game.
Then he had an off day. Then he pitched in a non-save situation.
Yeah, he had a tough inning in Boston. Just threw a lot of pitches when the Blue Jays had a comfortable lead. It was a 6-0 game when he came in the game just to get some work in. He was tagged with a run. Cespedes hits it into center field. Travis Snyder and Rasmus converge, and Snyder had to bail out right at the last minute as he didn't hear Rasmus till right at the end. Watch how late Snyder gets out of the way.
And Colby has to go down, flex his knees so he doesn't run into Travis Snyder. He was calling it all the way.
So the wily veteran Darren Oliver comes in and gets the first 2 out. Chris Carter's gone 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Carter hasn't had very good swings against the lefties this afternoon.
Well, they have cut that ball on the inner half. It looks like he likes the ball away from him where he can really extend his arms and do some damage. The Jays have been staying in on him.
The numbers really back that up coming into this game. He's hit just .227 against lefties compared to .333 against righties. This has popped up out of play. He's a big guy. He stands 6'4". Likes to get that leverage of extending those arms out over the plate, and Blue Jays have tied him up. There's our pal. He with the big helmet. Got a glove standing ready.
That's a great shot right there, isn't it?
Come on, Dad, throw me a ball. How come I never got a ball? Came to the game, I was here early. You promised me we were going to catch a ball. Come on, Dad. Strike 3 call. How about that piece of work from Darren Oliver? He comes in the 8th and retires the A's in order and punctuates it with the strikeout. Blue Jays, they'll go to the bottom of the 8th, leading 6-4. Now it's time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Hazel May and Greg Zahn in the Black Bear broadcast studio. tomorrow night. Carlos Villanueva will open up the 3-game set against the Detroit Tigers. Villanueva, perfect 5-0 on the season. He'll go to the mound and take on Rick Porcello and the Tigers Saturday afternoon. It is Anibal Sanchez, newly acquired from the Miami Marlins. He'll go up against Henderson Alvarez, and the series finale, final game of the homestand, the right-hander Doug Fister against Brett Cecil. Detroit Tigers in town for 3 for the first time. Carlos Villanueva looking to build on his perfect 5-0 record. It all starts at 6:30 p.m. on Sportsnet 1. That'll be the pregame show with Hazel May and Greg Zahn. Colby Rasmus started the rally in the 6th inning with a leadoff single to right. Brett Lawrie single to right behind him, and then after the strikeout, Travis Snyder put down a perfect safety squeeze bunt. The Blue Jays scored 2. New pitcher for Oakland is Sean Doolittle. He's an interesting study, making his 16th appearance. He is a converted position player, doing a good job out of the pen.
Yeah, converted the pitcher just last year. Made one appearance with the Arizona Rookie League and has done quite nicely this season. This guy was a hitter, and he did okay in the minor leagues at 30 home runs in 233 games. But that good arm has put him on the hill. Opponents hitting just 203 against him. And he's also had 29 strikeouts in just 19 of the 3rd innings.
He even has a save. He got a save in a game against the Yankees when they swept New York 4 straight. They beat the Yankees 4 straight games. They were all 1-run games, and Doolittle picked up a save in that series.
Struck out the side in the inning that he got that save.
Colby Rasmus lines it to left. Cespedes is there. Brett Lawrie had another good day at the plate. Laurie's gone 2 for 3, and he scored twice. Average creeping back up toward 290. Doolittle buried that ball in the dirt. It's 2-0. Sean Doolittle has a 13 and a 3rd inning scoreless streak over his last 10 appearances. And the one thing we had talked about, the depth of this pitching staff. Not only are the starters effective, but the back end of the bullpen is very good as well.
So our first look at Doolittle as he ends up walking Brett Lawrie. Their rankings as a relief corps, excellent. #1 in ERA and #1 in hits per 9 innings allowed. This after trading their closer from last year, Andrew Bailey, the way they were able to shift it around and still be very good.
The cleanup hitter is Edwin Encarnacion, who's the DH this afternoon. Lawrie got a terrific jump, and Encarnacion goes after the pitch. Nobody's going to get to this one. Lawrie will head to 3rd. What a good piece of base running by Lawrie. Oh my. He sized up the situation. There was a pop-up. Weeks went to 2nd to cover on the break by Lawrie. And then Lawrie saw the decoy but picked up the baseball and saw nobody was going to get it.
No one's going to get it. It's a pop-up. He looks back to see. Now he realizes Weeks is covering, and the first baseman, Carter, was holding him on. So there's nobody out there to pick up that little blooper to right field, and he just says, throw me out. If you're going to get me, throw me out. He's telling him, go. Edward can see that play right in front of him as Encarnacion picks up the base hit.
Well, you talk about heads-up baseball. Both Laurie and Encarnacion and Edwin knew right away nobody was going to catch that. Another chance for a safety squeeze, possibly. Travis Snyder did it last time up
against a very tough left-hander in Malone. Now he's got Doolittle, who's throwing 95 miles an hour. Look at the long look he's taken down to Brian Butterfield. Butterfield now going over to talk to Brett Laurie.
Base hit left field. Laurie's coming in to score. Encarnacion is headed to third. He'll stop there. Travis Snyder, an opposite field double, pads the Blue Jays lead. It's 7-4.
That's a good approach against a left-hander who is throwing hard. Don't try and pull it. Just take the ball the other way. We talked about it last time. Well, line drive right over the shortstop's head. Well, he does even better. Line drive right over the third baseman's head, and that means extra bases for Travis Snyder. Laurie trots in. Watch how he stays on this ball. Doesn't pull off of it that time and just slashes it down the left field line for another RBI.
Second double of the season for Travis Snyder, picks up his second RBI of the afternoon. Kurt Young out to talk to Doolittle, and as we mentioned, Doolittle came into this ball game with a scoreless streak that has been snapped now. It extended to 13 2/3, and Blue Jays have gotten on the board against Doolittle.
First base open. They might elect to walk Yan Gomes here and face the left-hander. You can see Suzuki looking in and asking. Well, they're going to pitch to him.
Now the infield is in. Runners at second and third. Yan Gomes 0 for 3 so far. Ball in the dirt. Travis Snyder has a bunt single and a RBI double against two left-handed pitchers this afternoon. He's now 4 for 10 against lefties since rejoining the Blue Jays. A .400 average against left-handers.
That's what they have him in there for. Produce against the lefties.
Gomes hits it into center. This should score Encarnacion. Crisp tags. He'll throw to third. Travis Snyder moves up. Gomes picks up the RBI on the sac fly. Boy, that is such an easy at bat. Gomes, all he had to do was drive it to the outfield, and he picks up his 10th ribby of the season.
Infield is in on you. So you just try to find a pitch that you can lift into the outfield. He does it one better. He gets Travis Snyder over to third base.
Kelly Johnson hit a home run his last time up. The Jays have scored 8 runs in their last 5 innings after being held to 2 runs over their previous 21 innings. Took them a while to figure out the open pitching. Johnson drives it to left. Cespedes back at the track, at the wall, can't make the play. Travis Snyder comes in to score. Kelly Johnson put a charge in it and drove it off the wall in the left.
Ball kept carrying to left field. He's got power the other way. Pulled his home run into the bullpen in right field, and that time hits it hard to left field. Cespedes didn't look like he was real sure of where the ball was when it got up into that roof, and runs out of real estate in front of that sign in left field. The ball just kept carrying by Kelly Johnson and slicing back over the head of Cespedes. It's an RBI double in the end of the afternoon for Sean Doolittle.
Kelly Johnson knocks Sean Doolittle out of the ball game. Doolittle came into this game with a scoreless streak that stretched to 13 2/3. Kelly Johnson 2 RBIs on the afternoon. Blue Jays 3 runs here in the bottom of the 8th have taken a 9-4 lead. as they hit in the bottom of the fourth. Edwin Encarnacion tied it up with a 3-run home run. Blue Jays added 2 in the 6th. Travis Snyder with a squeeze bunt. Insurance, and now they've tacked on 3 runs here in the bottom of the 8th, and the new pitcher is Evan Scribner, who pitched in the opener of this 3-game series.
He is not allowed to run in 9 games, 10 innings with the A's this season. He's claimed off waivers by the San Diego Padres.
Good curveball, but it misses outside. Sean Doolittle went just 2/3 of an inning. So far, he has given up 3 runs. Kelly Johnson at second base is Doolittle's responsibility. Two and out. Mathis starting, and you'll get to see him a lot with J.P. Arancibia going on the disabled list with a broken hand. There's a shot to left there. Cespedes isn't going to get it. It hits high off the wall. Johnson's around third. He'll come in to score, and the throw is way over second base as Jeff Mathis drives in his 10th run of the season. A line drive double off the wall in left.
You know, since they have opened up the stance of Jeff Mathis, he is really turning on a lot of pitches. And he does it again. Watch how he smokes this ball to left field. He just needed a couple more feet and he would have had the home run. Cespedes has a shot at second base, but airmails it. Jeff Mathis with another double and another RBI.
I tell you what, Dwayne Murphy does a great job with revamping hitters. Think about what he did with Rasmus. Opened him up, put him on the plate, had him face the batter. And then the same thing with Jeff Mathis. It's paid very well. He got Jose Bautista back on track. Omar Vizquel hits it to left. Cespedes has had a busy inning. This time he makes the catch. The Blue Jays send 8 to the plate in the bottom of the 8th and score 4. Casey Jansen coming into the ball game. He needs to work, and hopefully it'll be a quick inning. He's been terrific as the closer. A non-save situation. Blue Jays are up by 6 at 10-4, but Casey hasn't pitched in the ball game since Friday night at Boston, so he needs some work. And even before this day today, even before the game started, he said, I'm pitching in this game. I need the work.
No matter what the score is, he was going to pitch. Last save came on July the 14th. That was against the Cleveland Indians, an 11-9 game. Last time he worked that you were just talking about against Boston, it was a 27-pitch inning in a non-save situation. It was a save situation before last half inning. Now Jansen's up. He's got to get his work in.
Brandon Inge fouls it back. How about the bullpen today? Brandon Lyon retired all 4 batters he faced. He came in with 2 outs in the 6th. Darren Oliver had a 1-2-3-8. Then now Casey Janssen. That's how you spell relief.
Get in and get out. That's the thing that was impressive. Brandon Line, an inning and a third, 3 punch outs. Threw strike one to every one of those batters. And then Darren Oliver, same thing. Very quick innings.
And there's our pal. Pop saying, you know what? They got a good lead. Let's get on home. We'll get you something to eat. Have a nice evening together.
We came to see a W.
Mathis has that mask popped right off his helmet. And just fouls it back. More baseball on Sportsnet tonight. The Tigers will be in Cleveland. Justin Verlander goes to the mound for Detroit, and he'll be opposed by Zach McAllister. So Verlander, McAllister coming up later on tonight right here on Sportsnet. Casey Janssen strikes out Brandon Eames. That's how the top of the ninth starts.
He uses his fastball very effectively, does Casey Janssen. He can throw it up and down, in and out. This time he just decides to crowd Inge a little bit, up and in. Can't extend his arms as he picks up the strikeout.
Bullpen has retired 8 straight. They've also picked up 5 strikeouts. Seth Smith pinch hitting for Kurt Suzuki. Smith pinch hit in the game last night. Had a fielder's choice pinch hit for Josh Reddick in that lopsided A's win. Jensen's firing strikes.
Yeah, this is what he does. Again, he uses that fastball. He cuts his fastball also. And he's not afraid to go front door or back door, meaning inside or outside to these batters.
An off-speed pitch, and Smith just spoils a good pitch. Oakland will leave Toronto after this ball game, and they'll go into Baltimore for a 3-game series. Jared Parker will go to the mound for the Athletics. They'll be opposed by Zach Britton, left-hander for Baltimore. Cutter right in on the hands, ties up Smith. Orioles are leading Tampa Bay 6-2, top of the 8th. Baltimore's trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Perfect pitch down and away. Smith stays alive.
And he followed up that cutter on the inside part of the plate by going away. Casey was feeling early in the season that lefties were starting to cheat on that fastball against him, so he started to throw that cutter backdoor, meaning the outside part of the plate, coming back and picking up strikeouts away from lefties.
One and two. We mentioned a great crowd on hand. 39,003 in attendance for this Thursday afternoon series finale. Breaking ball. And Garapazza said that ball hit the ground. And he's going to allow Smith another swing. Foul tip. And it hit the ground. Garapazza never hesitated. The home plate umpire calls it quickly.
It's curveball. And it didn't hit the ground. B, I don't know if he tipped it. Didn't that look like it went right into his glove?
I think it was a short hop, and Mathis made it look real good. 1 and 2. There's one that bounces out in front of home plate. This is what Jansen wants to avoid. That was his 14th pitch of this inning. Tigers coming in for a 3-game series.
Yeah.
You don't want to wear yourself out.
You just haven't had those same opportunities with regularity that you need to get that regular work.
Middle of the field should be an easy play for Colby Erasmus. It is, and Smith is retired. 2 down. So Bob Melvin will send another pinch hitter to the plate. Brandon Moss will pinch hit for the shortstop, Brandon Hicks. Moss had a pinch hit single in last night's game. That came against Jeff Mathis, who was pitching in the ninth.
He had some strict instructions last night to Jeff Mathis when he went out there for that 9th inning. Don't overthrow. Just throw fastballs right there. You're catching tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we don't want you to overextend and hurt yourself, because right now you are our everyday catcher.
I'm sure Mathis, although he doesn't like the way that he has taken over that role because of the injury to Aaron Sebia, but at the same time likes the opportunity to get some regular work. J.P. Aaron Sebia on the bench. His hand is in a cast and he should be out about 6 weeks. J.P. told us before the game he's probably going to hang around through the weekend and then head back home. Not much he can do. Blue Jays are going on a long road trip. Seattle, Oakland, and Tampa Bay. 2-2. Crowd on their feet. What a bounce back game for the Jays. They lost last night 16-0. That's a pretty good pitch.
That's that backdoor cutter that we were talking about. And Casey took a couple of steps off the mound. He thought he had another strikeout.
So we'll do it again. Little looper into center. Asmus coming in. Ball game. Casey Jansen has a clean inning of work. Retires the 3 batters he's faced. The Blue Jays scored late. 3-run home run by Edwin Encarnacion tied it in the 4th. Travis Snyder had a big day. Kelly Johnson with a home run. He drove in a pair. Offensively, the Blue Jays scored 10 runs on 12 hits and pounded out 2 more home runs.
Better late than never is the theme of this game here. 10 runs in the last 5 innings by the Blue Jays against A's pitching, after they had shut him out for 12 straight innings over the last couple of games. John Farrell certainly take that. The bullpen shut him down to get the W here this afternoon.
We appreciate you watching this afternoon. Blue Jays win the finale 10-4. Stay tuned. More baseball coming right up. The Tigers and the Cleveland Indians. We'll see you tomorrow night.